Patchoulis that don't suck. In a lot of my videos, there are fragrances that I like, and there are fragrances that I don't like. And it always seems like the ones that I don't like have this very peppery, licoricey, medicinal, saccharine, weird smell, and a lot of the time there's patchouli at the bottom in the base notes. So a lot of people are like, maybe you just don't like patchouli. Maybe patchouli is the problem, but it's not, because some of my favorite fragrances have patchouli. I think that the patchouli fragrances that I don't like are mixed with these weird dark fruits, usually cherries and plums, black currants, things that make it kind of border on the scent or the flavor of cough medicine. So I like patchouli, but it's when it's mixed with those really dark syrupy fruits, or when they use ethyl maltol in the mix. Ethyl maltol is a sweet ingredient that they use to make things smell gourmand, to make them smell like cotton candy. There goes my cat. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's awful. So here I have 12 fragrances that I really love that have patchouli, but they don't have that weird peppery, syrupy, medicinal smell that makes me wrinkle my nose. First up, a long-time favorite, probably my OG original favorite perfume, the perfume that started it all for me. Nest Midnight Fleur. It is a woody amber fragrance. It has jasmine, vanilla orchid, exotic woods, black amber, and of course patchouli. But when I smell it, it kind of smells like a gourmand fragrance. It smells sweet. It smells like vanilla. Terrific and very, very unfortunately discontinued. I have to organize the protests in the streets for that. However, there are still some floating around on the internet, so if you can get your hands on it, if you want a deep, dark, ambery, woody, vanilla, not really patchouli fragrance, this is great, and I love it so much, and I need to find more bottles and stock up because I don't know who I am without this perfume. Next up, also discontinued, but again, there are still some floating around on the internet. Si Fiori. Si Fiori by Giorgio Armani. It has patchouli, but it does not smell like patchouli. Believe it or not, the very first time I smelled this, I got straight up sunblock vibes. It's quite powdery. It has like a sweet sunscreen vibe, and you would not believe the notes. It's actually black currant and mandarin in the top notes, neroli, rose, patchouli, and oak moss in the middle, and the base notes are vanilla and musk. This is a weird fragrance because, as I said, the first few times I smelled it, all I could get was sunblock. And then one time when I tried to wear it, my husband commented, "Oh, it kind of smells like cinnamon. There's a kind of like fluffy smell in there." So this is a very light, fluffy gourmand. Despite the berries, despite the patchouli, there is nothing heavy about this. This is a very light, fluffy, almost like a spun sugar cotton candy kind of smell, but it doesn't have that syrupy, dirty, medicinal quality. So I think they achieved the fluffiness without using the ethyl maltol. So this is a great patchouli that does not smell like patchouli. Elie Saab, Girl of Now. What? Really? This nutty, fruity, floral thing has patchouli? Yes, it does. Top notes of pistachio, pear, and mandarin. Middle notes of almond and orange blossom and magnolia. Base notes of almond, tonka bean, cashmere, and patchouli. Does not smell like patchouli. It's syrupy, it's sweet, it is a heavy, nutty, sweet, syrupy, strong, saccharine, gourmand perfume, but it does not have the medicinal, peppery, like herbal, yucky kind of deep, dark, dirty patchouli grossness that I complain about. So I don't think there's ethyl maltol in here, or if they did a very good job with it, and there are no dark, heavy, syrupy fruits to remind me of cough medicine. So this is a wonderful patchouli for people who might not like patchouli. All right, I might get in trouble for this one. Viktor and Rolf Flowerbomb. A lot of people call this patchouli bomb. Is it? Maybe it is. But I find it very tolerable because Flowerbomb, while very heavy on the patchouli, it is balanced out with much lighter, brighter notes like tea and bergamot and a little bit of the peppery osmanthus. There's orchid, there's jasmine, there's rose, freesia. There's nothing syrupy, dark, bitter, dirty, peppery. There's none of that in here. I think Flowerbomb is actually really nice. If it is a patchouli bomb, then I love patchouli. You just gotta do it right. You just gotta combine it with the right notes. Otherwise, it just smells yucky. I have the same opinion about Flowerbomb Nectar. It is patchouli, but again, it's balanced out with these like cool things that kind of neutralize any dark, swampy, dirty, peppery, syrupiness, and I think they are great patchoulis that don't suck. Angel Eau Sucree. Now, I know I complain about the OG Angel all the time, and I stand by that. OG Angel, while it was groundbreaking for what it was at the time, Angel is the pinnacle, the poster child of how patchouli can be awful. When I smell Angel, it is syrupy, dark, peppery, dirty, medicinal. It gives me a sore throat. Like, I actually feel sick when I smell it. And I did make similar complaints about Eau Sucree. However, it has grown on me. I am not above changing my mind about something when I am given new evidence, or I just give it more time. So this was a sample given to me. It was already mostly empty. This is the 2017 version, and it has notes of, this is the one with red fruit sorbet, caramelized meringue, patchouli, and vanilla at the bottom. Does it smell patchouli? Yes. Does it have a little hint of that dirty pepperiness that I don't like? Yes. But as it dries down, that pepperiness goes away, and it does smell lighter than OG Angel. The sorbet and the citrus and the berries and the meringue do kind of lighten it up for me. It doesn't feel so like dirty and scratchy in the throat. So this has grown on me. It is a little bit stronger in that patchouli note. Like you will smell that little hint of the thing that I typically complain about, but it can grow on you, and I am actually starting to not mind it so much. So passable, does not suck. A patchouli that does not suck. DKNY Cool Swirl, a summer fragrance, a really fantastic summer eau de toilette that has patchouli. It does not smell like patchouli. You would never know it's in there. Maybe it would smell different if there was no patchouli. Maybe it would just fly away with all the sweetness and how saccharine it is. Maybe the patchouli is doing something, but we don't notice it. It's the unsung hero. It's the kind of thing that maybe you won't notice until it's gone. But this is like pistachio sorbet. I got this when I was on a pistachio kick. I wanted anything and everything that had a pistachio note. Top notes are coconut, violet leaf, blueberry. Middle notes are sorbet, pistachio, magnolia jasmine, and the base notes are heliotrope, musk, and patchouli. And it stays smelling like pistachio sorbet the whole time. Even though patchouli is in the base note, when it dries down, it does not turn peppery. It does not turn dirty. This smells like so fun, so sweet, so fresh, and perfect for a summer day. You usually don't see patchoulis in summer fragrances, but this performs amazing in the summer. Longevity, not great, but for the price and just for the smell, it is really lovely, and this patchouli definitely does not suck. Guerlain, La Petite Robe Noire Eau Fraiche. This is the green one. You would almost not believe that this has patchouli. There is a lot going on in this one. There are a lot of citrusy top notes and orange blossom. There's almond blossom and sour cherry, freesia, raspberry, strawberry, peach, rose, all these like fruity, fleshy middle notes. And the base note has patchouli and almond and vanilla, tonka bean, musk, and pistachio. That's the reason I got it when I was on the pistachio kick. Does not really smell like patchouli. It has a tiny little bit of the earthy, dirty, peppery thing just to like reel in everything that's going on, but this is not at all like the typical sweet, syrupy patchouli gourmand. Ironically, when I spray this on my skin, after a while, it kind of reminds me of womanity. I think it's just like all those tart fruits kind of turn a little bit like sour or salty on me. And I'm not complaining because I love womanity, but again, you would not expect patchouli to be in this when you smell it, but it is. It's a very unobtrusive patchouli. It is doing something. It's not doing nothing. But it is a patchouli that does not smell like your typical syrupy patchouli. I think it's great springtime fragrance, in my opinion. Burberry Her. I don't have a big bottle. This is a little closer to the kind of patchouli that I don't like because there are a lot of dark fruits. There's blackberry, cherry, black currant, there's raspberry, strawberry, but there's also some lighter fruits like, mandarin and lemon. There's violet and jasmine in the middle notes, and then in the base notes it's musk, vanilla, cashmere, woody notes, oak moss, amber, and patchouli. There is something about the combination of wood and musk and oak moss that gives me a very punchy or pinchy feeling up in my sinuses, but it is not the throaty, like sore throat feeling that I get with the dirty syrupy patchoulis. So this is super sweet. Probably better for cool spring, warm fall type weather. Very fruity, very cotton candy-y, but again, it is not medicinal, it's not peppery, it's not cough syrupy. It's light and fluffy and fruity. It's like strawberry cotton candy. I think it's a pretty good one that does not smell like patchouli. I got a Kat Von D Sinner. I think there were a couple of them. I think this is like the 2017 formulation and the weird swirly looking bottle artwork. Kind of dark, has a dark fruit, has dark plum. You would think I would not like this because usually dark fruits and patchouli give me that like cough syrup, cough medicine type smell. It has plum, orange blossom, mandarin, cinnamon, some white florals, jasmine, patchouli, vanilla, musk, and vetiver on the bottom. You would think it would be really dirty with the vetiver, especially. Vetiver, patchouli, and plum. All those things combined, and cinnamon, all these like spicy things. I usually hate the spice. I usually hate the pepper. I'm usually very sensitive, very aversive to those notes, but it's okay. It is not offensive. It doesn't give me that like icky feeling the way that like Angel does or La Vie est Belle. Those two are like the poster child of patchouli gone wrong. Things that I hate and make my throat feel sick. Oh, also Cuddle Punk by Penrose. I don't know if there's patchouli in there, but nothing has ever offended my senses more than that. Maybe Tom Ford Black Orchid too. I'm fairly certain there's patchouli in Tom Ford Black Orchid. That is also just like hot, spicy garbage and should not exist. But Kat Von D Sinner, it just smells like a really nice, somewhat spicy potpourri. Potpourri that you would have like around the house during the holidays, during Christmas. It smells like Christmas time potpourri. It's slightly spicy but dry, light, dried out, not syrupy, not wet, not like bleh, not giving me a sore throat kind of feeling. So patchouli, yes, a little spicy, yes, a little sweet, little peppery, yes, but light, balanced nicely, not medicinal or heavy or dirty. Carolina Herrera, good girl. I want a full-size bottle of this. It is really interesting. There is a lot going on, and there is patchouli in the base notes. However, my biggest complaint when I first smelled this was that the top notes have both citrus and coffee, which I think is a mistake. Why would you mix citrus with coffee? That sounds like a mistake waiting to happen. However, top notes fade, the citrus does not stay very long, and you're left with this nice, creamy, white, floral, somewhat indolic, but woody, chocolatey spice. It's so weird. You would not think that these notes work together, but they do. Middle notes, tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, rose, orris root, base notes, tonka bean, cocoa, vanilla, praline, sandalwood, musk, amber, cashmere, cinnamon, cedar, and patchouli. A lot of woody, dirty things happening in the bottom, but it does not smell that way. By the end of the night, it's just this really nice, creamy, smooth, woody, maybe hot chocolate, maybe some, I don't know, like, but you have to wear this in cold weather. It is syrupy, but not peppery. It is heavy, but not medicinal, in my opinion. So even though it's heady and weird, it's balanced out by those cocoa notes, the vanilla, and I guess that wood, all of those wood notes, the amber and the patchouli does kind of like reel it in, and it keeps it from getting like too pissy and sour, you know? Like it's, for me, it's really interesting, and it's the first time I have smelled something like this. And when I smelled it, I did not guess that there was patchouli in there, so you know what? It is a patchouli that does not suck. Last but not least, a longtime favorite of mine, Replica Coffee Break. It has patchouli in the top notes. You would think, oh, it comes out swinging with patchouli, but I don't smell the patchouli. I actually don't smell a lot of things that are supposed to be in the top note. There's supposedly pepper in there. I'm very aversive to pepper, but I don't really smell the pepper. Orange blossom, who would think to combine pepper, orange blossom, and patchouli, but they did. Middle notes, lavender, coffee, milk, tonka bean, there's benzoin, there's some other weird plant in there that I can't pronounce, and the base notes are vanilla, cedar, and vetiver. So, again, patchouli, yes. Vetiver, dirty, yes, there's some dirty, peppery things. There are dirty, peppery notes in this, yet I don't smell them. They are either expertly blended, or again, it's one of those things that you don't notice until it's gone. This is just like creamy, aromatic, cool, spicy, like fresh lavender, yes, obviously. And there's almost like a nuttiness. It's like kind of fluffy at the top, milky, frothy, and then at the bottom there's this kind of nuttiness. I don't know, but like I would never guess that there is patchouli in here. So this is a patchouli that does not suck. So these are some of my favorites, some of my unexpected patchouli fragrances. So all I really set out to prove in this video was patchouli is not the problem. There are a lot of fragrances that I complain about that I think are just kind of gross, and they happen to have patchouli, but patchouli is not the problem. Patchouli has to be mixed with other notes, it has to be balanced the right way, it has to be used in the correct amount, can't have that ethyl maltol, you know, blah, blah, blah. So if you are like me and you find that those really syrupy fragrances like Tom Ford Black Orchid, Terry Mugler Angel, Lancôme La Vie Est Belle, I keep saying La Vie Est Belle, but I don't think in French they pronounce the S, just La Vie Est Belle. Whatever. If you're like me and you think that those fragrances, those really dark, patchouli, peppery, medicinal, syrupy, cough medicine, dark fruit, ethyl maltol, if those fragrances assault your senses and you've been thinking all this time, oh, I just can't do patchouli, I just can't do patchouli, try one of these that I mentioned, even if you get a teeny weeny sample, just to prove to yourself that maybe patchouli is not the problem. Patchouli is not the villain that we think it is. There is hope for us hypersensitive people who are aversive to those dirty, peppery, medicinal smells, and there are fragrances out there that do have patchouli that don't aggravate the senses. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will smell you later.